Hey everyone, Ashley here. Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies. So today I'm going to be doing a review of Don't Worry, Darling. Yes, that movie. The film, directed by Olivia Wilde, follows a seemingly happy housewife whose life in her 1950s community starts to fall apart. After an incident involving one of the residents, she begins to worry that her husband's company could be hiding secrets. Now, a lot has been said about Don't Worry, Darling. There have been headlines and all these stories that have come out, alleged behind-the-scenes drama and whatnot. I'm not going to get into all that and all the things that have been said about this movie. The big thing is that the movie is now out. And so people can talk about the movie itself and not the controversy around it. And the big question people probably have on their minds, is this movie good or not? I hope to try to answer that question in my review. But before I do that, a few things. If you could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Also, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time a new video is posted. Okay, time for the review. So despite all the drama and all the controversy, it turns out that Don't Worry, Darling is actually pretty good. Yep, the movie itself is okay. It's fine. I mean, it's not great, but it's certainly not terrible. It's actually a well-made film. This movie is a psychological sci-fi thriller, and the plot itself is pretty trippy. It's very intriguing, but pretty trippy. Now, Olivia Wilde directs this movie, and this is her second film after her directorial debut, which was Booksmart, a movie I really, really enjoyed. Now, Don't Worry, Darling and Booksmart are not comparable, but the story and everything came together a lot better with Booksmart, and for a first-time, film director, Olivia Wilde did a great job with that movie. What is clear with Don't Worry, Darling is that despite the flaws in the movie, and I'll get to that a little bit later in the review, it's clear that Olivia Wilde is a very capable and competent director. And I think if she had some stronger material to work with here, this movie would have been outstanding. This movie is beautifully shot and it's very scenic. This movie is set predominantly in this community that looks like it's stuck in the 1950s, from the cars and the clothes and the houses and even the music. And all the shots are so beautifully composed and really captures the look of this community. And, from the color palettes, everything is just beautiful. And so, this movie visually looks great. Now, this movie has an amazing cast, and Florence Pugh is outstanding. She's really the highlight of this entire movie. And she continues to show how amazing and versatile she is as an actress. Coming off of something like Black Widow, where, she gets to be a little bit more funny and do action sequences. In this movie, this is more of a psychological thriller. So it requires her to do a little bit more in terms of, the emotional acting here that she's doing. A lot of acting with her face. And she's just outstanding. You also have Chris Pine in this movie. And, Chris Pine is always great at playing really charming characters, and he's also great at playing really creepy characters. And his character in this movie is really creepy, and he's fantastic in this role. Olivia Wilde, who I mentioned before, directs this movie, also has a part in this movie, and she does a fine job with her character. And then you have Harry Styles, who, here's the thing about Harry Styles. Harry Styles is not a strong actor. This is not me, trying to, make a personal attack against Harry Styles or anything. So don't come at me. But he's just not a strong actor. And when you have him playing opposite someone like Florence Pugh, it's very apparent. Now, I will say in his defense that his performance in this movie is not terrible, okay? It's actually okay. It's pretty decent. It is a bit clumsy in parts, but he manages to do a pretty decent job with the character. So where this movie falters, it really comes down to the story. Now, the first half of this movie starts off really strong. It has this sense of mystery and intrigue, and you don't quite know what's going on, but you're following along, trying to see if there's little clues here and there. And it's just really well paced and well acted. It's about midpoint in this movie where things start to stumble a little bit. So there are all these different ideas that are kind of being thrown out in this movie. And that's not necessarily a problem. The problem is that all these different threads don't quite tie together at the end. Some of them do, but not all of them. And so really what you're left with are a number of questions, and also sort of this feeling of wanting more, right? Like there's something missing with this story in terms of how it ends. Or how it wraps up, I should say. So that was really the biggest problem with this movie. It's sharp. It has its moments. The premise is so interesting. It's just the matter of execution that it doesn't quite stick the landing there. But you know what? Overall, the movie is pretty good. You know, I know a lot of people were wondering about this and worrying about this. And again, a lot of that I think has to do with the controversy and drama surrounding it. And my hope is that that part of the conversation around this movie won't overshadow the actual movie itself. I'm hoping, if you haven't already seen the movie, that if you go into it with an open mind. Try not to think about all the other things that have been said about this movie that are not actually about the movie. Okay, all the stuff about the behind the scenes drama, just try to not take that in the theater with you when you watch this movie. And maybe you'll find that you enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's not perfect. It could have been stronger, but you know, for what it is, what we got, it's pretty good. So those are my thoughts on Don't Worry, Darling. If you've had a chance to watch the film, or even if you haven't had a chance to watch the film and you want to share your thoughts, you can do so in the comment section below. While you're here, like this video, hit the thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe so you see more videos like this.